What is happening, people, and welcome to today's video where I've been getting fat and growing a beard. I want to talk to you guys about 4 different ways that I've been pushing through my pressing problems. Because if you did not know, for the past probably enough months, I've had a shoulder injury that I've been trying to come back from, and it's just taking a lot longer than I ever expected or wanted it to, and I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who can also relate. So it actually got so bad at times that I stopped doing my pressing sessions entirely because it would either lead to completely sleepless nights or constant pain or just zero benefit. So I stopped doing them. And around that time, one of my really good friends, Dr. Greg Inocencio, actually came and gave me some corrective shoulder exercises to do in hopes that it would actually start fixing this problem. So the very first thing that I did to get myself out of these pressing problems is go to the source of the issue. Because prior to this, I believe that if I tweak something, then it was probably just something like spasming back there, kind of seized up. And if I got enough trigger point release or massage or even something like dry needling, that it would kind of release it and would help and whatever. But the problem was that I kept having problems because I wasn't dealing with the actual issue, which was a weakness through certain ranges of motion or certain muscle groups. So Dr. Greg gave me exercises that would actually strengthen that so that I could stop having these issues in the future. So if you are having some sort of shoulder problem that seems to kind of be reoccurring or just kind of won't go away, then I would highly encourage you to get with a good physical therapist and have them kind of go over some stuff, check some things, and see if maybe they can tell you where the source of the problem is, so that if you can strengthen it, you will stop having problems moving forward. Now, Greg and I, if you guys do want to check out that video where we went over some of those corrective exercises and assessments, then just check the description box down below and you can get that video there. Second way that I've been pushing through these pressing problems is to treat it pretty much like a high schooler. And saying that, I am just pressing all of the time. Since my weight is so far down, the frequency had to go up, and my weight right now, I literally right now cannot even bench press 50% of my old 1 rep maximum. So things like recovery and programming really don't play that much of a role at this point in time. So basically it's not weird to see me do maybe 4, even up to 5 pressing sessions a week. Now each one of those sessions is only about 10 to 20 minutes long, and they're pretty insignificant. They're so insignificant that I don't even really regularly change out of my work clothes. I just treat it like any other chore. I just get in, I get it done, and then I get back out. Now the increased frequency means more neuro reps in a good movement pattern so that I can learn that, and it's also just small stimulus very, very often to get blood flow to the area, because we all know that blood heals. Now, as far as the actual workouts, they're pretty impromptu because I don't really know what I'm gonna be dealing with that day. Some days are good, some days are not so good, right? So when I go in the gym, if I can overhead press, I'll do that. If I can bench press, I'll do that. If I can only do push-ups, I'll do that. I'll do whatever I can do and kind of work around it. And most time these workouts end up being with dumbbells or something that has more to do with stability than it does actually like a barbell or kind of locking in and trying to press. I'll talk about that in just a second. But as far as reps and sets of these exercises, it really depends on what I'm feeling for the day. So the weight is really dependent on the pain of my shoulder, what it can handle. And then as far as the reps and sets really go on as long as they have to. So basically I just grab a weight and move it through a range of motion until I can no longer hold good technique. At that time, I know the set is done, I drop it, change weights, and go again. Now I'll be honest with you, these lighter weight sessions really don't get me too excited, but one added benefit is even though I'm not pressing heavy weights, there is enough muscle memory from being a heavy presser for so many years that my muscle mass has started kind of fill back out, and that makes me feel better in a t-shirt. The third way I've been pushing through my pressing problems was some heavy work. Now again, heavy is a very relative term here considering the situation. However, when I am doing heavy work or just kind of pushing the weight that my body can currently do, there's a couple things I'm making sure of, and the first of which is that technique is king. No matter the lightest weight that I'm gonna rack that day all the way up to my heaviest set, everything is going to need to be perfect. I'm going to be mindful in the set. Every single moment I'm gonna be squeezing the bar, breathing and bracing. Every single technique thing that I can set up perfectly, I'm going to, because even a small misgroove when you're coming back from an injury can lead to a pretty big setback. So you need to be very, very careful that every single rep is perfect. The second thing you'll notice when I'm moving heavy stuff is that I will always bring my grip in. The closer I can keep that to my spine, the more neutral I can keep it, the more tucked I can keep my elbows, the safer everything is going to be and supported around my shoulder. And as I'm coming back to the game, because pressing heavy is something that I'd like to do in the future, I really need to be careful to let the ligaments and tendons and my confidence build up through kind of tighter, closer work before I start expanding everything outward. The third and final thing about my heavy injured days is that you're always gonna see my reps go way down and my sets go way up. And the reason why is because my puppy brain can focus really well and think about my cues and do everything correctly for 1 rep, definitely. Most of the time I can do it for 2, often I can pull off 3 reps, right? But if you get to 4 reps, you tell me to do a 4-rep set, at least one of those reps is gonna suck, most likely 2 of them are. If you tell me to do like a 10-rep set, if half of them look decent, we're having a great day, right? I can't stay focused that long enough. I'm injured, like I just said. If I miss groove, it can lead to a really big setback. So for me personally, I'm gonna make sure everything is super tight. The technique is absolutely perfect, and I'm gonna stay really focused for short little chunks of time, and I'm just gonna add more chunks to the workout rather than having longer sets and doing less of them. And finally, the 4th way that I'm pushing through my pressing problems was the contralateral strength training effect. Thank you, Dr. Greg, for just shooting that over to me over text. I couldn't remember what it was called. But the idea here is that especially after your strength days, when you have really worked an injury and it is angry, just so angry that it feels just like a dead piece of meat hanging off the side of your arm, then you can still work the opposite side. The idea here is that even if this guy is out of commission and you cannot use him, you can still use your other side. And if you push really hard there, it will help with the atrophy, with the recovery, with everything with the other side, because your body works synergistically, which is something so beautiful. I was so stoked when he told me about this, because it's something that I believed and I preached about and talked about before, but I actually got to see a scientific study talking about it. You guys have heard me talk about it for years, about squeezing bars hard as you can on a deadlift or on the bench press, or if you can't open a jar, squeeze the jar and you'll hopefully be able to open it, because you literally gain more force when other things are linked up. So really cool effect. So even if you are absolutely out of commission with your bad side, still work your good side, and it's going to help your bad side. So cool. I love the body. The body is awesome. Anyway, guys, that is what I have for today. I thank you so much for your time and attention. Hopefully this will help some of you who are dealing with same type problems, or if you guys want to go back and check out Dr. Greg's videos either on the corrective shoulder exercises or the corrective hip exercises to help knee pain, then definitely check both those links down in the description below. I'm sorry for a little bit of time here. I'll be honest with you guys, after I got done all of that sandbag work, I was a little bit burnt out, so I took a little bit of time. Been dealing with some personal stuff. It's also firewood season. I've been fulfilling a lot of those orders and doing stuff, but training is actually going well. I'm gonna try to release hopefully a training video next week, but man, I've got some pretty cool things coming up. I'm actually started writing these scaled power boater and these scaled 4 horsemen and things like that for masters athletes or novice athletes, for people who just aren't really in the super stud, I can crush the regular power boater program. This is gonna be a scaled down version, so hopefully a lot of you will be able to gain a lot of the benefits and the fun of doing the kind of giant set and stupid training that I like to give to people. So I just thank you guys so much for absolutely everything. It's just so cool, and I absolutely love it, and it feels good to be back. I hope you guys enjoy me being back. So I will catch up with you guys later in the week. Maybe if not, again, I'm gonna try to get a training video to show you guys kind of what's going on with me later in the week. But until then, go out to something amazing. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. Man, good to be back. See ya.